Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Mufti Q&A. Question says, how many hours did the Prophet ﷺ used to sleep? I heard in the video that he used to sleep first half of the night after Isha and the last 6 of the night before Fajr, and he ﷺ used to do Qaylula. How much hours Sahaba used to sleep? And particularly among Sahaba, how much hours did Umar R.A. radiallahu anhu used to sleep? We say, first and foremost, a very important question, whereas every human being, or we say most human beings, need some type of sleep, even if it's an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. Everybody needs some type of sleep somewhere, inshallah, in their lives. So Allah's blessing upon His creatures is that He allowed them to sleep and to rest. And the default time and place of rest is at night. As Allah has clearly mentioned in several verses in the Quran, that He made the light as a means of rest, He made the night as a covering, He made your sleep as a means of repose, etc., to keep things brief. So the simple answer is that the Prophet ﷺ used to sleep, according to what some of the researchers about his life and the different cultural aspects and the religious, spiritual aspects of his life, some of them, they say approximately 7 to 8 hours. That's including the nighttime and the nap that he took in the day. Some of them, they mention this 8 hours or less. In other words, a person could say 6 to 8 hours, including the nighttime and the daytime nap. That's the simple answer. Going back to why it's so important to have an understanding of this question, as Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah ta'ala explained in detail in his wonderful book Zad al-Ma'ad, Provisions for the Hereafter, which we advise you to go back and read. He speaks on how the Prophet ﷺ slept physically, on what side, his hand, the hadiths about the Prophet ﷺ's eyes sleeping but not his heart sleeping. The Prophet ﷺ, how did he wake up? What adhkar did he say when he went to sleep, when he woke up, etc. What are the different recommended acts when a person has a bad dream, when a person has a good dream, when a person sees something in his dreams? So there are a slew of rulings, etiquettes, manners, do's and don'ts pertaining to sleep. Is a very important question for the believer, because the believer needs to make ibadah as Allah has created him or her for. And there can't be no accurate ibadah unless your senses are there, unless you have the physical strength, unless you have the ability to stand, to fast, to read, to walk, whatever you're doing, that is ibadah. Rather, many of the people of knowledge, they say that when a student of knowledge is sleeping with the intention of getting more energy and vigor, recreating energy to study more, to memorize more, his sleep becomes ibadah. So this question could be an entire lecture in itself. As we said, once again, the manners of sleeping, the etiquettes of sleeping, the adhkar of sleeping, the manners of dreams, etc. So the summarized answer is that the Prophet ﷺ, according to what is mentioned, about, let's say, 6 to 8 hours out of the day and of the night. When did he make the qaylul? When was the nap? Before Jum'ah, before Dhuhr, or after? Very long discussion. As far as how many hours the Sahaba used to sleep, and particularly Umar radiallahu anhu, and before we move further, we say how many hours the Prophet ﷺ slept is also going to depend on what season. Obviously, the winter time is not like the summertime, when it's cold, when it's hot, short days, long nights, etc. As far as how many hours the Sahaba used to sleep, then that's a very large question, because there are hundreds, if not thousands, of Sahaba. So how can we specifically determine how many hours they all slept? It's a very difficult question. All right. In general, Allah Azza wa Jal, He praises and He lauds His slaves. كانوا قليلا من الليل ما يهجعون. Allah says they used to sleep just a bit at night. ها تتجافى جنوبهم عن المضاجع. Their sides abandon their beds. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in another surah, their flanks, they don't sleep that much. They pray, they make istighfar. يدعون ربهم. They pray to their Lord, خوفا وطمعا, fearing Him, hoping for Him, etc. So therefore, the general concept of the believer is not sleeping that much. We say that you have to have a balance in your life. One man's 8 hours may not be enough for you. You may need more. One man's 3 hours. One woman sleeping for 5 hours, depending on your lifestyle. Okay, what do you do for a living? seeking knowledge, studying, children, married, traveling. Everybody's different. What is important is that you be balanced. And it is not a condition that you only sleep just a little, just what is beneficial. First and foremost is the fara'id, the mandatory acts in Islam. Salat al-Fajr, Isha, you make on time, in congregation. You fast, you do what you're supposed to, do. Then the extra voluntary acts come, bi-idhnillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hopefully that's clear, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best.